Your shift to the fifth dimension. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You have to take into consideration the fact that you are making such a tremendous leap forward in your evolution when you consider what is happening in your personal life. You have to expect that things are going to come up to get you to summon more energy, because it is in the summoning of more energy and the allowing of that energy that you are able to make a shift into consciousness. It is all happening because of the challenges you are facing, the past life traumas you are clearing, and the emotions you are releasing. You are doing the work. You are making it happen by living your lives, and at times you must look beyond the details of the circumstance of the life you are living, and you must allow the bigger picture in. We say you must do this because we want you very much to hold a higher perspective, so that you have a chance of enjoying the process of shifting. If you get too caught up in the details of what you are living and you forget the bigger picture, you might never sit back, relax, and let that energy in that you have summoned. But that truly is the way, and it will be the way for the rest of your journey to the fifth dimension. When you are ready to make that shift, you will find that it is all well worth it, and you will recognize that the feeling of relief that you all will have be kind of an ecstasy that you've never experienced before. So we say, embrace your challenges. See them as the catalyst for bringing about the shift, rather than as the obstacles for your living a life of pure joy in this now moment. When you can live a life of pure joy in spite of these challenges that you face, that is when you know you will have let in more of the energy that you have been asking for. And when you open the floodgates, you can ride the current right into the fifth dimension. There will be, of course, challenges there as well, but they will pale in comparison to what you have been facing in this lifetime. The consciousness of your higher self. It is encouraging, to say the least, to see how wonderfully you are making a transition from knowing yourselves as the egoic beings that you have always been known yourselves as, to the expression of your higher selves that you have always known you would become in this lifetime. We are monitoring the progress of the transition, and it varies from individual to individual, of course, but all in all, the process is something to be excited about and something to take pride in. Your levels of awareness increase every day, and your capacity to love and show compassion for each other is also increasing. So the full embodiment of your higher self's consciousness then comes down to a choice. It is a choice that you make when you are faced with a dilemma in your lives, and when you allow the higher perspective to dominate, you are making the choice in that moment to be your higher self. When you make a decision based upon something rather outdated, such as a desire to survive, you are clinging to the egoic way. It is important to see the bigger picture, and that is precisely what the higher self does. So when you pull back from the scenario that you are facing in your life and you see how it can serve you and all others involved, you take on that higher self-consciousness and you let go of what the ego often clings to. Now, as you discover that this process of ascension includes the ascension of the ego, that's when you recognize that all parts of you have value and have been of service. But you are activating the perspective of the higher self, and you are downloading the consciousness of the higher self. And the progress that we see in so many of you is quite impressive. A time for forgiveness. This is a perfect time for all of you to lay down your resentment, to let go of your grudges, and to come clean with those in your life that you need to forgive. This is a time of letting go of that which is heavy, that which is old, and that which no longer serves you, because you are always letting in that which is of a higher frequency, that which does serve you, and that which takes you to the next step on your journey. And letting go of the dense, polarizing, third-dimensional ways, you allow yourselves to take on the fifth-dimensional perspective. And the more you hold the fifth-dimensional perspective, the more you vibrate in harmony with those energies, the energies that are creating the new Earth. Our sense of what is happening on planet Earth right now is that more and more humans are waking up to knowing that nothing is gained by drawing a line in the sand and putting all the bad ones on either side of that line. It is time for compassion, which means it is time for understanding. It is time for allowing others to have their perspective, no matter how different they are from your own. Now, if you are waiting for the people who run the government to initiate this change and start working together, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. If instead you recognize that all the changes come from within, then you will stop taking sides and start taking on the fifth-dimensional perspective, the perspective that shows you that all circumstances on planet Earth right now are in some way of service to the evolution of humanity. Therefore, starting in your own personal life, you can begin the process of bringing together polarized elements. You can start by seeing the beauty in everything that you've experienced, and by letting go of that resentment that you've been holding on to. When that weight is lifted, more fifth-dimensional energy comes in, and you get to experience yourself as a lighter version of yourself. Your concept of self is shifting. You have been gathering your resources together for a major leap forward in your evolution. You have been connecting to more of your oversoul and downloading more of the skills and abilities from all of your various incarnations. And you have been doing so because you need more of who you are to make this next leap forward in your evolution. This one is about changing completely your concept of who you are. This one is about letting go of the notion that you are somehow limited by what you have experienced in this one lifetime. If you think of who you are in terms of only that which you have done, thought, said, and believed in this one lifetime, then you are selling yourself short by a very big margin. To shift your concept of self, you have downloaded more of the memories from other lifetimes, and you have imbued your consciousness with a greater sense of connection to the all, to everything in existence. Then, when you are able to handle the information that you have downloaded, you will receive it. But it is more important for you to feel it, to know that it is there, ready and willing to support you in the shifting of your consciousness and the shifting of your concept of self. Once you see yourself as having done and been everything, you will relax a bit. You will recognize that you don't need to accomplish anything in this lifetime to prove yourself. Whatever it is you seek to do and have not yet achieved, we can assure you, you've already done it. Everything that you see someone else doing that triggers you and that causes you to judge that person, we assure you, you've already done it yourself. There is nothing to fear and there is nothing to judge, because it has already happened in some incarnation of yours. And when you make that realization, you can let go of so much and you can just enjoy the life that you have carved out for yourself in this incarnation. And you can shift your consciousness to an understanding, one that is without limitation. Traumas create the new earth. We've been waiting for the right moment to fill you in on something, and this is that perfect moment as far as we can tell. You have exceeded the number of traumas that you signed up for as a human, and as a result of what you have taken on, you are creating more than what you originally set out to create for yourselves. You see, there's always a positive outcome no matter what it is that you are experiencing. And so every single trauma that you have experienced individually or as a collective has been building a new and better world for you to experience. Every single one of you knew before you incarnated that you would take on a certain amount of trauma in order to know then what you wanted to create. But what has astounded us and all the other watchers and witnesses is how much trauma you are willing to experience in your many lifetimes on planet Earth. The energy that has been summoned as a result of all that trauma is now being downloaded and is being utilized to create this new Earth in the new fifth-dimensional universe. You have all done this together. Sometimes you had to team up so that one of you could play the victim and the other could play the perpetrator, and then you would both die and switch roles, and you called it karma. But the effect of all that trauma has been tremendously positive, and what you are downloading now is the energy that you have summoned, the energy that is so fresh and new and carrying such a high frequency that there is nothing left for you to do. You can sit back or lie back and lick your wounds because what you have done in every instance of every trauma is to add to the creative force that would bring about the new earth. And once you feel ready, willing, and worthy to receive it, the new earth is yours to inherit. You are creating the shift. You have awakened within you a sense of belonging that is this particular journey that you're on, and that awakening has given you the power and the strength to endure a tremendous amount of discord on planet Earth and in your personal lives. You incarnated in this lifetime to make this particular journey, and those of you who are awakened are making the journey consciously and deliberately, knowing that you are creating an entirely new Earth and an entirely new universe in the fifth dimension. Now, when you first become aware that you were shifting, that was in fact a calling. That was coming to you from your guides. Your guides set it up so that they would hear about the shift and nudge you towards the information about it. And then they let go of the control so you could all decide for yourself what the shift meant for you and how you were going to navigate through it. There is a sense among many of you that you are ready and that you want the final push to come no matter how much it costs you as a human collective. That sort of desperation is coming from the amount of suffering that you see, that you feel, and that you hear about. But the degree of desperation does not serve you because you really do want a shift that is easy. You really do want to be on a timeline where you experience a gradual evolution of consciousness within yourself and within all others around you. That is a transition that most of you are choosing, and that is the one with the least amount of catastrophe and trauma. So it is time for you to take ownership of the shift that you are creating and to stop looking for predictions about what is going to happen next to spur it on. It is your light and your love that is at the heart of the shift in consciousness, and that is as you intended it to be before you incarnated. Never give up on what you came here to do, and you will achieve the shift in consciousness in this lifetime. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.